Our story will be about one very interesting fact from the life of a brilliant scientist who invented the spark plug, was a member of the Ghost Club and was able to contact his deceased son. British physicist and inventor Oliver Lodge, known for his discoveries in radio technology, also became a prominent figure in British spiritualism. He proved the existence of life after death with just one photograph of his deceased son Raymond. Back in the late 1880s, in addition to studying electromagnetic waves, Lodge showed a serious interest in telepathy and other psychic phenomena. Yes, he was a member of the famous Ghost Club, which dealt with paranormal phenomena and clairvoyance, and communicated with many experts in this field. After the death of his son Raymond in 1915 during the First World War in Belgium and other tragic losses, Lodge was determined to prove the existence of an afterlife at any cost. Although the physicist was aware of the many fraudulent mediums, he limited his circle of contacts to 3 specialists. With their help, Lodge tried daily to contact his son or other representatives of the afterlife. And then one day he succeeded. One of the mediums conveyed to Lodge Raymond's words that his father could find his photograph with one of the mothers of his comrades in the service. And, indeed, after a month of searching, Lodge received a reply from the mother of one of the officers. At her home there was an envelope with 6 black and white photographs of Raymond and other soldiers. Raymond began to contact his father regularly. As it turned out, over the course of 2 months from the day of his death, he gradually recovered, just as a patient recovers from the shock of an injury. He had friends in the other world who helped him settle in there faster. Thus, Raymond's friend Paul told him about the confusion and dismay that new arrivals experience when they learn how difficult it is for them to establish contact with their relatives and friends who have remained living on Earth, to tell them that they themselves are also living. Having settled in the new world, Raymond began to tell his father his observations, to pass on interesting information. You do not feel as real as the people who are here. For him, the walls now seem transparent. What reconciled him most with the current situation was that things here look so solid and real. The first person to meet him here was his grandfather, and then others, some of whom he had only heard about before. They all look like ordinary people of flesh and blood, so he could hardly believe that he had crossed over to another world. The son of the famous physicist now lives in a brick house, surrounded by trees and flowers, and the ground is solid. Here, night does not follow day, as in the earthly world. Sometimes it only gets dark when he wishes it, but the time between light and darkness is not always the same. After this proof, Lodge continued communication with his son, seeking to obtain more information about the afterlife. Raymond's words said that on the other side, souls do not always immediately realize their state between lives, and for many, the afterlife seems like just a dream. However, many soon begin to engage in new things, leaving behind regrets regarding the former reality, the former earthly life. I always want to understand how everything around me is arranged, what it all consists of. I haven't found out yet. For some time I thought that it is the thoughts of each of us that create buildings, trees, flowers, and solid ground under our feet, but there is something more behind all this, Raymond reported from the other world. Now he is mostly busy helping the poor souls who are literally shot into the world of souls by the war. At one of the sessions, Raymond told about his new body. I have almost the same body as before. Sometimes I can pinch myself to make sure that I really have a real body, and it really is real, but I don't feel the pain from the pinches as in my previous life. The internal organs, it seems, are not arranged as before. Of course, they cannot be the same, but still the signs are the same, and outwardly everything is similar. And I am somehow freer in my movements. By the way, Raymond pointed out another feature in that world. On Earth, he knew a man who lost one arm. But now he has 2 arms. When in a previous life someone is torn to pieces, as in a war, the astral body needs some time to replenish itself, come together and become whole. Apparently some part of the substance, which he believes to be of the nature of ether, is dispersed in these cases and must be concentrated again. The spiritual being is not, of course, torn to pieces, but the explosion does have a certain effect on it. One must not burn the body of a dead person intentionally. It is very difficult with people who are cremated too soon after death. The living think, we must do everything as quickly as possible, and that's the end of it, because the dead don't care anymore. And Raymond warns that one must not cremate a body earlier than 7 days. Then follows, I do not think that men and women are in exactly the same relationship as in the earthly world, but they seem to have the same feelings for each other, only they express them in a slightly different way. Here, it seems, no children are born at all. In order to have children, people must be sent back to the earthly world, into a physical body. No one has children here. Several decades passed, and the famous physicist developed a theory of interaction with the other world. During his stay in the United States, he gave an interview to the New York Tribune, where the main topics were death, the afterlife, and the possibility of communicating with the world of the dead. During the interview, Sir Lodge expressed his confidence in 3 key things. Some people have the ability to communicate with the dead, and this ability can be developed. The simpler a person's life, the stronger his connection with the previous living becomes. Scientific recognition of the fact of communication with the other world will lead to a revolution, as a result of which people will turn to a new religion, not associated with the concepts of heaven and hell. I believe that the ability to communicate with the dead is innate. It is similar to talent in music or painting. It can be developed, said Mr. Lodge. Those who do not have this gift should not waste time acquiring it. But for those who have the initial data, this gift can be cultivated through practice. Initially, communication with the other world is monotonous and painful, like learning music. However, over time, harmony is achieved. This gift can be discovered by chance, just as people discover the ability of an artist in themselves. I believe that the time will come when this gift will be recognized by science. In our era, if a child begins to develop such abilities, punishment or medicine awaits him, said the famous physicist. Sir Oliver said that his belief in the possibility of such communication with the other world is only growing stronger every day. And he added, we are moving towards the top, from which we will see what is beyond it. I am not saying that we have reached it, but when it turns out that we are on it, I am sure that we will discover the great prophets and saints who were before us. Their process of ascension was not as slow and painful as ours. They rose thanks to intuition, inspiration, call it what you will. My work is not connected with missionary work. I do not care whether people accept my theories or not. But I want to make the task easier for those who follow me. At the end of the interview, Sir Lodge said, I deeply believe that I will continue my scientific research after I leave this world. Death does not frighten me. After all, one of the laws of nature says that nothing disappears without a trace. I hope that the years spent on research will lead me to the goals that I always wanted to achieve, but could not always. What do you think about this? Please write in the comments. And see you on our channel.